Alright, Shalom, Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachah, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that teach His word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And today I just want to title this lesson, The Ministry of Fire. Because that's pretty much the overtone of this ministry, of our teachings. It's pretty much the violent overthrow of this place, which is going to be by fire. Which our Lord Yahweh Shai coined this very same time, pretty much compared it as the time of the days of Noah, which in that time, the Lord judged the earth on a global scale by the way of water. But this time, it's actually going to be by the way of fire. And that was Noah. Noah was actually preaching the flood. That was the overtone of his ministry, that the planet Earth was going to be flooded by the way of water, But this time, this ministry that we're preaching, which is the same overtone of the ministry of Noah, that a lot of people going to die by the way of a mass judgment, but this time it's going to be by the way of fire. So, matter of fact, let's get this. This is the book of 2 Peter 3 and verse 6. It says, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perish. See? But it was spoken first, man. Noah preached these things. Oh, it tells you, matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Of things not seen as yet. This is Hebrews 11:7. It says, by faith, Noah, being warned of the Most High of things not seen as yet. See? So that was not seen. That was a strange work in that time. Same thing in this time. We pretty much preaching of things that's not seen as yet, man. It says, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world. See, so meaning what? He condemned the world by the way of saying that it was going to be a flood to overtake them, man. But now we saying it's going to be by way of fire this time. It says, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. See, so pretty much he pretty much spoke the flood into existence, man. But that's what the scriptures say. That this time this place is going to be overthrown by fire, and those are the two cleansing agents, water and fire, man. So this back 2 Peter 3 and 6. It says, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perish. See. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, see, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day. It's like reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. See, so as you can see, this time when this same word, when it come back around, it's going to be the overtone of it is going to be by a fire, which is going to be by the way of this war, man. This thermonuclear war, man. This is what the Lord have chosen to take this place out, man. Because this is how this man came into power, man. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. See, so every battle, you look at these different wars that happened, pretty much before, this man, the Gatling gun, and these different, modern weapons, such as the gun and, the tanks. They pretty much had to get down and dirty, with swords and shields, and you hearing bones crackling and war cries. That's the confused noise. But that's how war was played out. It says, but this, meaning with this battle, shall be with burning and fuel of fire. And as you can see, that's why pretty much the scriptures, pretty much point out, kind of going, touch on World War I, because that was going to be the pretty much the build up to this destruction. That was the that pretty much revolutionized how war was played out. You had fighter jets and tanks, and you had chemical warfare and bombs, and you know that pretty much revolutionized how war was going to be played out. But that's pretty much just, it was going to be the build up to this battle, which ultimately going to be by the way of burning and fuel of fire, man. And that's what's coming to this place, man. Nothing but fire. Oh, even the Lord Yahushua, he said he's coming to send fire by the way of the chariots, man. The chariots gonna get down. This Isaiah 66 and verse 15. It said, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire." See, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. See, and that's gonna be done by the way of that concentrated fire. Those laser beams, man. But that's the overtone of the ministry. That's the judgment. The judgment ultimately is gonna be fire. Yeah, you ultimately, you're gonna have the famines and the pestilence. You're gonna have the sword. Pretty much death is the Lord have expanded the ways of death. But ultimately the icing on the cake is the fire, man. Matter of fact, let's get that in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter. Revelation 18 and verse 8. It says, "Therefore shall her plagues come in one day." See? So it's going to be a series of plagues the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah is going to smite Babylon with, man. It says death and mourning and famine. See? And she shall be utterly burned with fire. See? So that's the icing on the cake, the fire, man. That's going to top everything off, man. And that's why that nuclear missile sign is that's like a staple, man. You see a great millstone camp, best believe you're gonna see that missile sign, because that's gonna be the end all be all for these devils. Once this man, implement this chip, and that's gonna be downhill from now, man. Because this man, he came up by the way of war, and this is the way he's gonna be taken out. So it says, "Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her." See? And it tells you that the Lord, he's strong that executeth his word, man. So this is already decreed. Yeah, hit with the famine, hit with the pestilence, mourning and anguish. But top it off by the way of the fire, man. And that's the only thing. Hey, that's why I said evil and only evil behold is come. So it's just thought, you ever watch those different cartoons or those sitcoms when it said, how can this day get any worse than it start raining? Well, that's what's going to happen, man. You thought it was just going to get bad. You thought it was the worst thing ever when the money crashed. No, it's worse than that. It's going to get worse and worse and worse to ultimately the fire coming, man. And you can't act cool when you on fire. You can't play it off like shit don't the stove ain't hot, man. That's one thing that's gonna make you jump is that heat, man. But that's the overtone of this message is what this time the Lord's gonna bring fire, man. And it's gonna be by the way of those missiles and those chariots. This is the book of Baruch 4 and verse. I get to the point, verse 34. It says, "For I will take away the rejoicing of a great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning." See, and we in that process now. That's why I said we are in the beginning of the sorrows. But we in that process now where the mirth is being taken away and is being exchanged for sorrow and grief. Oh, it tells you that in Revelation 18 chapter how much she lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow gives. So how much this motherfucker been living well off? Trade that in for sorrow, man, and torment. And that's what's coming. That we in the beginning stages of that. And what says the beginning of sorrow, but ultimately it's gonna fully blossom into sorrow. It's gonna fully blossom into torment and anguish. To ultimately the fire, the fire is gonna top it off. It says, for fire, see, shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. See, so as you can see, that fire gonna be turned to mourning, and that mourning is gonna ultimately be topped off by the way of the fire, man. You know, those are one of the spirits that were created for vengeance. Is fire, man. You know, but this is pretty much the that cleansing age. That's that spiritual chemotherapy the Lord is gonna use to rid out the devil, man. This is Revelations 20 and 14. It says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. And what's the lake of fire? That great wine press? It's here in America, man. This is gonna be that lake of fire, man. By the way of those missiles hitting this place. Like I said, also as well as the chariots, you know. This is what's gonna ultimately uproot this place, man. It says this is the second death. See, so as you can see, what was the first death? When Noah spoke for a judgment on a global scale by the way of the flood. But this time, this judgment is gonna be on a global scale by the way of fire. Now the whole planet Earth is not gonna be on fire, but America, for a fact, this whole land is gonna be utterly wasted. You know, the land of Israel, Palestine, that land is gonna be got to be cleansed as well, man. Which this is gonna be the cleansing agent. Like I said, that fire is a cleansing agent as well, man. You know, but it's gonna this time, this message is gonna be by the way of fire. You know. So matter of fact, what is that? Fire and brimstone. Bear with me. I don't know that. Revelation 16. Bear with me. I got to end off on this fire. Yep, this is it right here. I'm gonna start. This is the book of Revelations 9 and verse 15. It said, and the four angels were loose. See, which those four angels is the one that was holding back the four winds of the destruction, man. You know, that's that third woe, man. You know, it says, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year for to slay the third part of men. And that's why we read earlier that this word was kept in store. It was preserved until a certain day where this fire was going to manifest, man. It said, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And what's really the horsemen is dealing with the warheads. You know, that's the army of the number of the horsemen. Just like, you know, because they say, you know, simple Jake, you know, will say, well, it's not that many missiles on the earth. Well, you got to count the warheads. That's just like, that's like a military vehicle. The missile is to propel the warheads over here. When you see a helicopter, it's just not one guy in there. No, it's a band of troops in that helicopter, or in any type of military vehicle. It's a band of troops that drop. You know, is a band of troops that's in the vehicle that drops them off to a certain location, man. That's how they with the missiles. That's why they come in stages. You know, to propel it, then the warhead. So pretty much the horsemen, you know, is them warheads, man. You know, it said, and I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, see, and of Japheth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses was as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke. It said, by these three was the third part of men killed, by fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. See? So by the way of these missiles is what's gonna overthrow the third part of man, which is Esau, even the so-called white man. He is the third part of man. You got the sons of God, the sons of man. Then you also got the sons of perdition. Then also you had this devil. Really, when you really look at this man, his track record, he had three pretty much major kingdoms that really stuck out. By the way, the Greeks, the Romans, and then you got this beast system, man. But what's on the top of everything, I was pretty much gonna cut this man off. Is gonna be by the way of this fire, man. So yeah, I just hold it for edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Like to say Shalom to the elect, teach the word in all truth and sincerity. DTA, abide.